Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Patchwork Cutters Club. She says pressing all the buttons, turning on the lights that she forgot to put on. How disorganised am I? Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. So it's been a little while since I've been on Patchwork Cutters again. So today we're going to be doing some more cocoa butter painting. And I decided to do something a little bit whimsical today rather than something obvious. With the rabbit and the cupcake. So you'll see that shortly and I'll show you exactly what I have done. I've combined a couple of sets together just to make something a bit fun, I think, more than anything else. I have been painting all morning, so I feel a bit fried, to be honest. I'm just going to make sure I've gone live on Facebook so I can see that we've got the feed going and everything. But yes, I've got painting eyes. I look like I've been painting continuously. There I go. And I've been painting for the last couple of days manically to get a few bits and pieces done. So my students that follow me already, we will be doing lots of new animal paints I've got coming up as well. So the idea behind doing these Patchwork Cutter lives is obviously to get you going with your painting, and learning with Patchwork Cutters is a brilliant way of being able to take a step into the world of painting, because obviously it can be a little bit overwhelming. Most people go, there's no way I can ever paint, and then the minute I give them a Patchwork Cutter and some cocoa butter, they're off. So I'm now doing more projects for myself, obviously for our cake school, and we're doesn't call me again. So we're starting to paint scenery now on our cake school, and then today I've been painting a horse, and then we've also got an elephant coming, so we've got all sorts of different animals coming as well. So there's lots of different things that are going to be coming along. So but today we're going to be obviously doing our lovely Patchwork Cutters, which we have got a full range on our website, or certainly a good chunk of them anyway. You'll also find me doing some of the other paints on YouTube, so if you don't follow me on YouTube already, let me just get rid of this, then you will be able to find me on there. If you go onto YouTube, you'll be able to find some of the other Patchwork Cutter paints on there that I've done. So I did do quite a few earlier on, so you will find some of them on there as well. So have a look on there. Right, shall we see what I've come up with today? Let's just make sure Madam Kelly is not going to call me again. I'm going to send her a message to stop her doing that, little madam. Right. And then hopefully that will stop her doing that. There we go. Right, let's have a look what we're doing. There we go. So today I decided to put the rabbit on top of a cupcake. Why not? I just thought, yep, perfect. Love it. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So there we go. And we're going to do it with lots of luster colours today. So we're going to have a little play with some of the luster colours and basically go from there, really. So that's what we're going to do. So this rabbit is from the bunny set. So Marion's got a set called the bunny set, and in that one is also Easter eggs, which I thought Easter eggs and bunnies a bit obvious, so I thought I'm just going to go full cupcake bunny today. So I thought I'd put him on top of a cupcake. This is the large cupcake, which is the one that Marion's got on her site. We've also got it as well. It's on offer at the moment, and it's got lots of different size cupcakes in it. So I thought, well, do you know what? He is actually quite a nice size to sit on top of a cupcake. So that's exactly what I've done. Now, if you look at this closely, you're going to see there's a slight overlap there where the bunny is actually sat on the cupcake, but I'm not worried about that at all. I did and ah about cutting the hands out separately and adding them on, but I tried that and then I didn't like the look of it. So I thought, no, in the end, I just lined them up as best I could and put the hands on that way. So there is a little bit of overlap today. If I wanted to avoid that, I would just cut it out separately, but I can't. So I'm just going to go with it as is. I think I'm quite happy with that. So let's have a look at the setup. So we've got our cocoa butter paints here. So if I just take that apart there, you'll see we've got a tea light that's lit under there. Hopefully it will hold out. And then we've got a metal paint palette on top. So the metal paint palette gets very hot, caused by the candle that's underneath, making the metal paint palette really warm. And that in turn melts the cocoa butter and keeps it melted. So cocoa butter, when it doesn't have heat applied to it, is a solid product. So if I hold that under there, you'll see what it looks like. So it's like little tiny buttons, and when you apply heat to it, it changes into a liquid which you can then mix with dusting colours. So you can then mix with lots of different dusting colours to be able to paint with. So that's the idea behind that. So I've got on here today some different colours at the moment. This is where we're starting from anyway. Who knows, as I go along it'll probably change anyway. But we've got pink sorbet here, which is an edible art colour, which we have got on our website. Black, not standard black, white. We've got Wonder Dust Bright Gold and Wonder Dust Regal Purple. And again, both of these are on my site. So if you want to get either of those afterwards, then you will find them on there. I may add other colours. I haven't quite decided yet. I thought, well, I'll just start with this and see where I go, because it's probably the best way for me. I probably will add petal blue in there at some point, but there we go. We'll get started with that. So there's our rabbits. I thought we'd go a bit luster colours today, because we don't talk about luster colours very much, and I thought, well, it might be quite nice to actually look and understand those a little bit better. So because I've been manically painting all morning, my paintbrushes are probably still containing some of the colour that I've been using, so I'm just going to get rid of, just give this one a little clean. So I'm just dipping my brush into the cocoa butter. So I've obviously been painting something in grey today. There you go. A few hours ago. There we go. All right. So we're going to dip that into the cocoa butter, and we're going to pick up some of this bright gold colour. Have I gone off screen? Yes, I have. Let me turn that round. Okay, so bright gold. So this is a really nice colour. Now what you're going to find with luster colours, so this is why we're doing this today, talk a bit about luster colours, what they do. You tend to use a bit more colour than you would do if it's a matte colour. So matte colours you need less powder, luster colours you need more. I don't know why. There's obviously something to do with the mix that they make, but it just is, it's the way it is. And that's all luster colours, not just Wonder Dust or anything like that. So we're going to paint the cupcake case, of course. So we'll start at the bottom. Now the one thing with luster colours is they do paint in one go. They're pretty good from that point of view. So if you're finding that it's a bit streaky and it's not covering properly, you've probably got the mix out slightly. So you probably need to just either increase or decrease the amount of cocoa butter or dusting colour that's in there. So if the mix is really thin and translucent, you need to put in more dust. If the mix is very thick, then you need to put in more cocoa butter. And you just have to, it's one of those things you kind of just have to have a go at to be able to work out how to do it. So we're going to just have a go at doing, so like gold cupcake cases. They're quite in, aren't they? So I thought, yeah, we'll start with that. Have a bit of that. Gold and pink, that's the idea today, with some purple in there as well for good luck. So I'm making this up as I go along, please note, which is pretty much normal for me. So because I've been busy this morning painting, I have not had a chance to think yet, but I know roughly what I'm doing, she says, so that's okay. That's all right. So we're very busy on the cake school at the moment. For those of you that follow me at all, we are busy painting all sorts of bits and pieces, and we are starting with lots of certificates and things this year. So if you are interested in joining the school at all at any point, then do please pop over and have a look, because they're very busy at the moment. So this patchwork cutter, I'm using the largest one in here, which is of the cupcakes. So this is the large cupcake that's in the set. There are also smaller ones as well. So you'll find lots of different sizes for this one. So I just thought, what would I do with that large cupcake? And I thought, gee, I'm going to stick a rabbit on top of it. That sounds like a good idea to me. I thought, you know, let's go random with this and put a rabbit on top of it. Don't see why not. See how we go, see what it turns out like. Can mix these sets together, that's what's so nice about it. I did a little tiny paint, actually I don't know if I've got it here now. I did a paint on Saturday using the elephants, and we gave the elephant holding a little flower, and the little flower was from the spring set. So the little tiny elephant does fit really nicely onto a cupcake, the one that's sat down. And then I put a little flower in his hand. So he looked like he was holding a little pansy or something, which is very sweet. So the elephants I did paint, and they're very quick to paint as well. It doesn't take very long to paint those at all. So they're really good ones for doing cupcake toppers really quickly if that's what you wanted to do. So elephants are quite sort of, you know, you can do them sort of pink and blue, and you don't have to do them in grey, do you? You can do them in any colour really, it doesn't really matter. So whatever you fancy, it seems fine by me. Right, so I want to replicate this up here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my gold and I'm going to give him a gold tummy. Because if you've got a colour on here somewhere, you need to make sure it's in there and it's in there as well. So I think the most obvious place to put it is probably his tummy. We'll give him a gold stomach. Like that. I'll put a flower in the middle. So the flowers are also out the cupcake set for decorating this cupcake. So there's obviously different size flowers, and I just then decided to put a flower in the middle of the stomach of the rabbit. So that's me sort of messing around with it and just thinking, what else can I do with that? And that's what I ended up doing. So, well, we want to have some of the matching flowers across both, don't we really? And I think while we're going full mad bunny today, we'll put some gold in his ears as well. So we've got that going across there. You can see how nicely the paints are going on. They're really nice paints to work with. Very easy paints to work with. Luster colours are really nice to paint with, actually. There's not a lot of shading involved. It's normally just a quick sort of paint, but they are really nice and ever so shiny, which is really nice. Let's go around there a little bit. Okay. All right, let's leave that there for a moment. Now, what we'll do next is let's get paintbrush number 1 on the go. Again, I just need to clean it from this morning. It's got black on it at the moment, so that's definitely not going to help me, as I need white. Okay, let's just get rid of this. Bear with me. Right, let's turn the white round. And there it is. I think I've got it nearly all out of my brush. I definitely don't want any black in there because otherwise it will go grey. So I'm just going to take a little bit of cocoa butter and some white. So this is going to be for the eyes. Get that bit done and then they can dry out, you see. So I think I will do some petal blue. I think the petal blue is coming in shortly for his eyes. So we'll just paint his eyes. We'll need some more white later on anyway, because there's no way on this earth am I going to let anything pass without using some of my other dotting tools and bits and pieces. So I'll need more white later. But we can get that bit done now, and then we can leave that to dry. Oh, he's got a tooth there as well. Let's do that. Nearly missed that. Excellent news. Right, he's got a tooth. Brilliant. Okay. Right, so I was planning on a pink rabbit, of course, but I don't know now. I'm umming and ahhing whether to do a different colour rabbit, whether to do a petal blue one. Maybe I'll do the top of the cupcake pink. Let's do that instead. Okay. I'm changing my mind as I go, which is pretty standard, to be honest. So, iced pink sorbet. And then what we'll do, now what brush have I got here? I've got brush 1, and the reason I've got brush 1 is because I've got to get round these flowers and I don't want to knock them particularly. I've not mixed that very well. Let's get a bit more going in there. Get a bit more colour going. Right. We'll go up underneath the rabbit's feet. So we'll have some pink icing on this cake. That looks all right, doesn't it? Can't go wrong with a bit of pink icing, I don't think. Well, Kelly's not here, so I could do as much pink as I like. I mean, Kelly's back next week, so I'll have to be banned from doing pink next week. So put that in there. Like so. See how easy it goes on. So it's going on really easy. I haven't put any white in here at this time, so it's just the neat colour because it's a luster colour, and we're literally just going to do one coat, and then we'll obviously do our own thing when we carry on decorating in a minute, because you know me, it never ends, does it? It's never going to be straightforward. contemplating what colour to do my bunny rabbit. I was going to do in pink, but I think I prefer actually to do pink icing, so I will be having a little think as we go. Okay, you see that's going on really well. What we might do with the rabbit is do that matte so that we can then shade it. I think that's what we'll do. Or even grey. Grey is another possibility. Should have done a poll, shouldn't I? Vote bunny colours. There we go. How are we doing on there? That looks okay, doesn't it? Bit of fun. So whenever you get your patchwork cutters out, have a good look at them and see what you've got. Don't just always use the same sets with the same thing. I know Marion mixes and matches hers quite a lot, and I definitely do. So I'm always mixing things up. So probably, I don't tell her this. Sometimes I have to send her an email. I'll go, Marion, what is this from? Because it's gone into another bag. And there are very organised people out there that keep everything in the right bag, and I'm not one of those people. So often I'll find a cutter and go, oh yeah, that's good, I'll use that. What is it? Where's it from? So I have to ask Marion where it's from. So she'll get pictures of me holding cutters. And because it's one tiny little cutter from one particular set, I get a bit lost as to where they are. But anyway, there we go. So that's what I do. I will be doing that. Oh, we've got a vote in now. So, oh, Doe's going pale mocha. Okay, so like a pale brown bunny. Let's do that. Why not? Let's find brown. I've been using brown quite a bit today, so we'll go brown, but we'll make it pale because we don't want it to be dark brown. So we're going to go across to, what colour is this now? This is a matte colour, to think of the right word then. It's a matte colour versus these, which are lustres. So we've got points on this that are going to stand out more because they're lustres, so they're more shiny. So what we'll do here is we will use a matte colour. We might be able to do a bit of shading then. So brown is very dark, obviously. We don't want to do brown as dark as that, so we're going to add some white to it. Pale it out a bit. I nearly did a grey bunny. I don't know now. Well, we'll go with this anyway. Let's go with this. See what we've got. I know someone else said the biscuit colour, which actually is a really nice colour. But I don't think I've got it in front of me at the moment. So we'll go with this colour for the moment and see how it turns out. If we don't like it, guess what we can do? We can paint straight over the top of it. That's my kind of painting. So give that a bit of a mix and see how we go. Let's see what it looks like on here. Oh yeah, that's nice. Let's do that. And it's all along the right paint palette as well, because we've got gold and pink along there. Actually, this is matte and it's covering really well. You can see. It's got a little bit up there. I need to bring it in a bit closer to me. It's miles away from me. Let me turn that around a bit. I feel like I'm painting on the other side of the room. So this is brown, so this is Sugar Flare brown. I don't tend to muddle my colours up too much. I do have the odd edible art colour, and obviously I do use the Wonder Dust, which are amazing, but I do tend to stick to Sugar Flare because I know it and I like it, and I know what the colours do, and that is actually quite important. So what I'll do then, we'll go over his mouth. We don't need to worry about that. We can come back and sort that out. Let's get close to his eye. And on this side as well. There we go. And we go. Do you know, I think this would be quite a good birthday one. as well as doing it for Easter. So I think the rabbit sat on top of a cupcake is actually quite a sweet idea. Certainly makes quite a sizable topper. Okay, that's coming out nice. Keep going. Down this side. So I'm using my paintbrush number 1. So I always talk about my paintbrushes when I'm painting, what number they are. So this is paintbrush number 1. We do sets of 5 paintbrushes to help when I teach, because I like to go, we're now using paintbrush 1 or we're now using paintbrush 4 or whatever it is that we're doing, because it makes life easier to know that you've got the right brush in your hand at the time. And believe you me, that makes a lot of difference. There we go. Very nice colour. What do we think so far? Happy days? So you could use the spring set, you could give the daffodil, you could give the rabbit a daffodil background, or you could, again, you could do similar to what I did with the elephant. You could give him a, so there's a little, I don't think it's meant to be a pansy, but I turned it into a pansy. Little cutter in the spring set that I seem to have adopted this colour. I really like this colour, this little flower. But I did turn it into something else. It's very sweet, as is this rabbit. He is very sweet as well, isn't he? And you see, even though you've got an overlap there on the cupcake, I really don't think it matters, to be honest. I think overall, looking at the whole thing, you won't notice it when it's finished. You'll be just too busy looking at all the lovely painting. That's what you'll be doing. There we go. Let's turn them around. See, look how sweet that is. Isn't that lovely? Right, what else should we do with them? Let's have a look. Well, let's do the flowers next, shall we? So I thought we could do some purple flowers, maybe with white centres. Let's see what that looks like. So I'll grab a little bit of this Regal Purple, which again is another lustre colour. So we use this one a lot during Jubilee. Coronation is coming. And my gold members have already, my students have already had to put up with me going on about it. So that's coming as well. So let's make this a little purple flower, shall we? And then perhaps we'll do the centre pink or white. Let's see how we go. See what it looks like. Let's turn it around. So I'm still using paintbrush 1. Let's push that into there. Let's give it a bit more dust on here because it's gone a bit thick. That's better. That's better. That's going mad there. I want to get it right down into the cracks of where I pushed the cutter in. You don't have to push it in quite as far as I did. I think I was just getting a bit stamp happy when I was setting this up. It's actually easier if they're not in as deep as I've got them in. Let's go a bit more. And also dabbing paint in is a little bit easier sometimes. Let's turn it around that way. Oh, he's got some bright sprinkles, that's for sure. Where are we? Let's grab some of this. So you can see I'm going through quite a lot of the powder. So you do have to keep going back and mixing it up. Otherwise what happens, it goes very pale, which is what it was doing on that first flower. Kind of lose the colour, so you do need to make sure you've got plenty on when you're doing lustre colours. Let's turn it round that way. Also trying, I keep turning it around so I can get my brush into the gaps. Because if I try and get my brush into the gaps around the other way, I'm going to end up knocking everything else. I'm just going to go back and do that first one again. That's better. So make sure your paint's nice and thick. Otherwise it doesn't come out. Now we've got a super small one there. I think I should be able to do this with paintbrush 1. Let's see how we go. I should be able to get in there. Yeah, I think we're fine. Just about. Let's turn that round this way. Just about. There you go. He's got in there. Right, I'm still fiddling with this a little bit. There you go. That's better. That's better. Right. Okay. So, I think we'll do the middles pink, but I'm going to just use the same one as we did before, the Ice Pink Sorbet. Then once we've done that, we can start doing some of the shading and decorating that makes it what it is, makes it better. So we're not going to be able to do a huge amount of shading when it comes to things like the luster colours, because obviously they are the colours they are. We can mix black and bits and pieces into, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do instead, we're going to make this spotty for a start, so we can make that like a spotty cupcake case. We can do that by using one of these tools here, which is a ball tool. There's 2 different ends to it. Some are thicker than the other, so kind of depending on how thick you want it to be. So we'll take the ball tool and we'll just go into the white. I'll tell you what I'm going to do before I do that though. I'm going to make up a bit more white because I haven't got huge amounts of it. Let's make up a little bit more, just so we've got something to dip into. And also I need to do the rabbit's eyes so I have a chance to dry. We're going to do the eyes, let's turn that round. We'll do the rabbits. We'll do his eyes next because then they'll have a chance to dry. So we'll do the black, mix up some black. Now this comic book style is very much in at the moment, which is basically everything outlined in black. I can't really describe it as anything else. So I'm contemplating to try that on this. I haven't done it before, so I don't know what it's going to turn out like, but I've done it on some of my cookies. For those of you who've been watching me on Saturday mornings, we have done it on the cookies and they came out really well. So I am tempted. Right, I've got a little bit of black paint on here and I'm just going to press that into the eye, into the middle. So by using one of these tools rather than a paintbrush, you get an exact round dot. Whereas if you do it with a paintbrush, then basically what happens is that you get more of a splodge. Whereas with a tool like this, you've got more control over it. So that's kind of why these are really good. I think what we might do as well is just put a little bit of a spot into the slightly off centre on these flowers because we can. And we'll do a little, there we go, something a bit different. Right, let's go to the white. Let's get rid of that on there. And then we'll take this again and we'll do some spots on here. So white on gold. Let's see what that turns out like. That looks all right, doesn't it? I'll just do every other one for the moment. Let's see what we get. I might love it so much, I'll end up doing more, you see. Let's have a little look. Yes, I think we need one every one. The only problem with that is if I decide to go comic book route, I'd have to cover them all up. Take me forever. Yeah, we'll go down there. So you can always add different size spots according to the tools that you use. So this is like quite a large ball tool, but you can also use things called dotting tools, which you find, where I had one in my hand, there it is. That's a little dotting tool, and these are really good for like doing eyes. So when that black eventually dries, we'll be able to go in with this dotting tool and we'll be able to put a little tiny white highlight in there. Let's do the rabbit's nose and smile. I'm just looking now for the right paintbrush to make sure I can do this okay. What have we got here? I seem to have got a multitude of paintbrush 3s. They seem to have evolved from everywhere. I've still got paintbrush 1. I think we should be able to do it in that. So let's do his nose, and we'll do that in a dark grey colour. So we'll just pick up a little bit of white and we'll go over his nose. Let's turn him round. We're going to do a bit of shading on him, I think, in a minute. It's got a funny face. Right, let's see what we've got here. Can't even blame Kelly because she's not here, because normally she's the one who walks off with my zero brush. So if you had a zero brush, I would recommend you use it. But as I've been painting this morning, I've obviously put it somewhere, some special place. So we'll use brush 1. So I'll very carefully go down the line here, and then we'll go across here and across here. Not breathing, obviously. So the brush actually fits, if you just use the tip of it, just inside the bit that you've pushed down. So it's quite nice because then I'm not having to make anything up. It's already there for me. He has got a very funny face. I like him. Okay, let's do that. And then what we'll do with him, let's give him a bit of texture because he is looking a little flat. So what we'll do is we'll just add a bit of brown to what we've already done. A bit more brown maybe. And then we can, what should we do with you? Let's put a bit more brown on you. We'll just swirl you around with a bit of brown. Just so he's not completely plain. A bit of that. So you could do all sorts of things. You could put a little love heart in the middle of the bunny if you wanted to. I thought we'd stay away from love hearts today. It's Valentine's Day, it's past, isn't it now? So I didn't want to go down that line today. I just thought I'd go sort of a bit more wacky and floral today. Does have a very sweet little face, this bunny. He's making me laugh anyway. It's down there. You can always give him a little bow tie or something. I've got a bow tie mould around. I had one lying around this morning. Where's that gone? Oh, here we go. I know this isn't Marion's. I'm sure Marion's probably got a bow tie, but I don't know what it is, Marion. Don't tell me off, because I'm not sure what it is. But I've got a little FPC one that we could do a quick bow on. Be a bit more 3D, but Marion probably does have a bow on one of her many kits. So his nose and eyes, I think his eyes just starting to dry now. I can see it's just starting to cloud over. That's what I want. Just going to put a bit of extra dark down the base of this. Just added a bit more brown in there. Because then it will look like I made sure he deliberately sat on that cupcake, you see. Optical illusion. Dark at the bottom. Maybe a little bit under there, so it looks like he's actually got a bit of a chin. Although we are going to just, if I can find some sugar paste, that is. I've made all these promises. Where have we got? What have we got down there? I've got some pink. Oh, good-o. Right, okay. So this isn't patchwork cutters, this is FPC mould actually, but I'm just going to do a really small bow just because I would like a bow on here. Marion, I'm sure, if she's got a bow mould or bow cutter, we'll put the link up for you because I don't have it. So I'm marginally in the dark there, but she probably has got one. This one just does little tiny bows. I can make it a bit more 3D, you see there, look at that. Right, let's stick that down. Let's get a bit of water to put that down with. And a brush. Let's find another brush we can just put a little bit of water on. Let's grab another one. Okay, so a little bit of water on the back of that. We just pop that on. So we are just borrowing something from FPC here. I'm sure they won't mind. Little bunny's got a little, see how cute that gets? Easily, either that or I'm highly and easily entertained. That's probably more like it. Right, dotting tool, let's go back to that. Let's get the dotting tool back out again. And we'll put some dots on the little so yes, I'm sure if Marion's got a bow, she'll let us know. If not, this is the FPC one. Anything to make all these different things look like they're together. And then what we'll do here is we'll take the smaller dotting tool here and we'll match the cupcake. Cupcake case anyway. And then we'll match his ears. Let's do the ears as well, because then everything that's gold has got spots on it, hasn't it? This looks like it's slightly ODing on spots, but I think it makes sense, to be honest, because I'm going to do it on the cupcake as well, but I'm going to do bigger ones, I think. You could always change those. You could always do like more like sprinkles, so you could sort of stick on some sprinkles, like, let's see what I've got, hold on. She says chucking everything everywhere, hold on. Something like these with little tiny hearts on would be nice. And so you don't have to do absolutely everything painted. You can always add to it. So my paintbrush was in there. Let me just get that back out again. I'm only going to stick this on with a bit of water, but it would actually need a bit of raw icing really, I think. I'll just do this while I'm on the live. You could put little, if I press it down hard, it probably will stick actually, because this sugar paste is quite soft still. Right, press hard. Yeah, there we go, it's embedding itself in there. Amazing what you can get away with. We know all the tricks, all the things you shouldn't do, but we do, just to help us out a little bit when we're on a live. Right, press down hard. See, if I leave that like that, that will set, I guarantee it. All right, even though it's only been stuck with water, because it's sugar, it will stick to itself. And then we'll just take this dotting tool again, although I do need to generate a bit more white. Let's just get this brush back out again. Make sure it's thick enough. Oh, we've got whiskers to do yet. That'll be fun. Brace yourself. Right. Okay, let's grab this thing. So we're going to have some dots in here as well, because those are my Kelly sprinkles, you know, the little white ones that we're always going on about. And then I promise that's the last of the dots. I don't know, I think the dots really soften it up. It all makes sense to me. There we go. Right, let's do his eyes. So if I turn this around, there's a tiny, tiny little dot on the end. If I dip that in there, hopefully if I'm lucky, and it's dried, which I think it has. There you go, look at that. Tiny little dot. And then you've done those eyes without having to actually sort of do too much. Can you see? Because it's very, very tiny, but these little dotting tools, they give you an exact dot, and that makes all the difference. Right, now I'm going to attempt to do these whiskers in white with paintbrush 1, which is rather a challenge, but we'll give it a go anyway, purely because my zero brush has obviously gone for a walk somewhere. So we'll give it a go and see how we've done. So if you ever want to paint yourself like a fun cupcake topper, I think this is a really good one actually. Good one to do. Right, what colour should we do your whiskers? We're going to do them white. So we're going to get some white paint on the end of this brush. I'm going to lean on here because it's dryish, and then I'm going to just take my brush. I'm going to start at this point here, and I'm going to head out like so. Let's do that again. We'll join another one. Marian's given me like 3 kind of whisker holes here, so I mean we can always do 3 or we can do more if you want to. Maybe a couple more. Might do 3 and think, absolutely, I'm not doing any more. I think that's enough. Let's try the other side. The other side, I have to turn it upside down, and then just right on the tip there. And then we had a 4th one, didn't we? So I'll put another one in there maybe. What's that look like? Yeah, look at that. Isn't he cute? Isn't he cute? There we go. Don't think you can go too far wrong with that, can you? Yeah, you see how straightforward that was? That wasn't difficult, was it? And you've got yourself a really fun topper there. I'll tell you what, that'd be a great thing for someone to sit and have a paint if and just put a little bow on, as I say, just that enhanced it quite a bit, didn't it, when we did that? We did talk about the cartoon effect where things are being outlined in black. I'm probably not going to do it on this because I think it's actually really sweet like this, but if you wanted to do it, you would then start going all the way around the outside edge in black. It does actually take quite a long time. It's really time consuming. I mean, these cakes look amazing, but oh my goodness me, it's time consuming. But I'm doing a tutorial on one shortly. So hopefully, I have actually made a few already, but I'm going to just do a tutorial on it as well. So we've got something else to think. So I think, there we go. I don't think we need to do anything more than that. And then if you wanted to add a background to it, you could always put in some like little, I'll tell you what I need to find. Let me see if I've got them right next to me. I'm going to leap up quickly and see if I can find them. Oh, I have. Oh my goodness me. So you could always put on some little gold stars. Can't go wrong with a few gold stars, I don't think. So if you wanted to add in some little, so say this is the top of a birthday cake, for example. There's some like different sized ones here as well. You could always put those on as well. I'll probably stick these down after the live. I'm going to take a photo of it. It's like different sizes. You see, that would make a really nice birthday cake topper for somebody, I reckon, or maybe even say Easter themed, but it's got a cupcake on it, hasn't it? So anyway, there we go. How about that? That's not too bad, is it? Right, there we go, for something made up randomly as I was going along. Quite pleased with that. I have absolutely no idea what I was going to be doing colour-wise and everything, but I'm actually quite happy with that. I think it looks good. I'm pleased. Good. So there we go. So that is my paint of the day. There we go. God knows what Marion will think of it, but she says, oh, I never know what you're going to do. Well, there you go. I never tell her either. That's probably because I don't know until a few days before. Yeah, he needs a magician's wand. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's where I'm coming from with this. I don't know, but yeah, something along those lines. But he does look, he's fun, isn't he? Anyway, that's the idea of him. That's what I was hoping. I've got what I was hoping for, so that's all right. I don't mind. But I'll put a picture of him up online anyway, so you'll be able to see him. And hopefully, as I say, if you want to have a go, then you need the bunny set and you need the cupcake set. The cupcake set's on offer at the moment. I think it's only about £3 or something. I use the FPC bow mould, but I say Marion may well have a bow equivalent. And then we used the colours Ice Pink Sorbet, Bright Gold Wonder Dust, Purple Wonder Dust, and Brown, which we then mixed in with some white, and then we did the whiskers at the top. If you wanted these to exactly match these, you could paint them, but I'm not going to do that now because I haven't got time, but you could paint those as well if you wanted to. But actually I think they look fine like that, just the way they are. And I just took a small cake board and turned it on the diagonal to fit all this in, and I think it's fitted in really well. So yay, happy days, isn't it? It's just a bit different. I'm just trying to come up with some birthday cake ideas, I think, really. I think that's where I was going with this. So there you go, something a little bit different for you. So I will take a photo and you'll be able to see it shortly. Okay. Right, I'm back again now. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me for this lunchtime live. I will be back again. I need to agree with Marion when that will be. Madam Kelly is coming back next week, so we will be doing a live of some description, I'm sure, between us, maybe on Tuesday night. Not too sure where, but we'll let you know. We will find some more patchwork cutters to inspire you and get some different designs going. Don't forget, mix and match them. Try cocoa butter painting. I know lots of you are a bit kind of like, oh, not too sure. The ones that bought the kit, never opened them. Get those kits opened and have a go. See what you can come up with. It's amazing all the different things you can come up with. It doesn't have to be seasonal. It can just be anything. Cupcake and a rabbit. Who'd have put those two together, eh? Only me. That's all I'm going to say to you. So there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Do please come back again and watch me. I will put the video up into featured. So if you want to watch it again, you will find it up there. If you're interested in the cake school, go to the website below, traceyscakes.co.uk, and you will be able to find all the information with regards to all the cake painting classes that I am doing on there. We're about to embark upon scenery painting, so we're getting advanced now, but there are lots and lots of classes on there for you to join in. So if you would like to join that, then do please go and have a look at that. So lovely to see you all again soon. Have a great afternoon and take care, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.